Hi guys, I promised I'd do a flip through of my 2019 planner. I've got one B6 Slim extra large, I guess, personal planner. I have an extra B6 for some added notes, and I have my A5, which is mainly for my business. At the moment I'm mostly using my B6 Slim, and I promised I'd do a flip through of my past year. So I have I made my own diary. Let me see. This is my B6 Slim, but it's extra wide. I made it just a tad wider. It's I guess 1 centimeter wider than normal, which is in this way. And actually I needed that because, as you can see, my diary is getting really full, really thick. Because this year I decided I would do a whole year in one booklet. I made it myself, and I used normal binding procedure. Let me see, this is normal. Normally you get these kinds of inserts, which is I have it's a pamphlet stitch, and those are normally for half a year or so. If you make them any bigger, they tend to take up quite a bit here in the spine from the folding. So for myself I made a booklet which I bound with signatures of 4 pages. Let me see, I am here, so let me restore this quickly. Let me see, and I'll proceed to the flip through. I'll try and make it really quick because I really don't have a lot to say about everything I do. I have this is my mistake. I said January to June, but it's not. It's January to December. It doesn't really matter, it doesn't bother me. It's I kind of like that I did that. I added through the year I added some pictures from things that happened, and from the holidays, and from when my daughter graduated. I got this from a really lovely gal from a UK planner group. Erin, I think she's called. Her shop is Silent Beauty Plants, and she makes things like this. I always have, well, at least I prefer that, I have a monthly view followed by the weeks of that month, which is why I have all these tabs here: January, February, March, April, etc. Not that I need to put a lot in here, but I like to add some little things. And at the end of the month, it starts out really quite plain. As you can see here for December, it's really quite plain, but by the time the end of the month is reached, I will have filled this with bits and bobs throughout the month, like this book I was reading. Things I run into, I doodle and draw things when I feel like it and when I have the time. That's basically it. It's not very. I do use it for planning, for things like when I have appointments. I will put the appointment in the monthly view, but I will also put the appointment with the time in my weekly view. But also it's kind of a memory keeping thing where I can look back and see what I did a certain day. I went to the movies, things like that. So that's kind of the way I use my planner. And as you can see, a notebook that starts out as really rather thin ends up to be really thick, and I like it this way. I like that it's this crinkly paper. I like that the paper is not flat anymore from any watercolors I might have used, things like that. So when I have this Sprocket photo printer, I put little photos in here. When I get around, when I go to the movies, I put it in there. I don't have a lot of time, so I don't go to the movies very often. So, but when we do, I always put the ticket in my planner. As you can see, it's not very fancy. It's just when I sit on the couch in the evening, I just add little things to it. I have washi, whatever, stamps when I feel like it. I don't have to, but I just do it when I feel like it. And this is kind of the way I fill my my planner. It's more like a memory keeping thing. Okay, so I'm not gonna go flipping through everything because it's kind of different but the same. As you can see, things like that. So as you can see at this point, I also always keep some blotting paper in my planner because I write with fountain pens. I have my TUSB Eco here, filled with brown ink. I don't know if you can see that. Brown. Does it do that? I don't know. Right, it's brown, believe me. And because the ink, this is very thin paper and really smooth. It's not as smooth as for instance Tomoe River paper, but I don't like the coating on the Tomoe River paper because it makes everything dry 3 times as long as really needed. And this paper is Clairefontaine, a thin paper. It's even thinner actually. It's weight wise. This is 50 grams, and I believe the Tomoe River paper is something in the order of 60 grams or something like that. I don't know, 56. Anyway, but this paper only comes in white. So I really wanted to have the off-white color, but unfortunately they don't carry this in the off-white color. But actually I'm getting used to the white, and I'm really liking the way it turns out. Let me put away my pen. As you can see, I'm already starting this week, and the point is I just build it up through the day. It's not something I go sit and decorate my pages. I don't. I just do this. I add a little bit every day, and when I think this is too. This was last week, and when I look at this and I think it's too empty, I'll just go back and add something later. So that's just fine. So I'm nearing the end now, which is, well, now I have to think of something else, because I was really thinking of going to B6, because I kind of like the square size of the B6. It's like the A5 and the A6, but in between, but it has the same square format, and I really like that. But then again, it's also bigger. Well, wider. It's size-wise it doesn't really matter that much, but it's wider, so I'm not sure. I'm still debating this because I still kind of like this. So planning-wise, as you can see, I had the month on 2 pages and the weekly view, but that's by no means enough for me to plan the day. So I have this extra booklet with day per page, and I will write all my extra tasks in here. It has a weekly overview. In the weekly overview I write down several things that I want to do this week, and then every day I add tasks that I want to do that day, and at the end of the day I check off everything and I see if I need to transport anything to another day, or maybe even transport it to a week ahead. So at that point it really doesn't see those things. I still need to do my mail, but things I started but didn't really finish. I started doing things here, but I have to check those off. I have the new listings. I made 2 new listings, but I want to make more, so now I have to check it off. But I check it off by filling half the box, not the entire box. I am filming, so I can check this off. No, actually I can check it off completely, because I'm not going to film anything else today. I did adapt the vendor, because we are changing names, and I did adapt product names. Okay, so that's for today. And then at the end of the day I will sit and see what I have to do for the next day, and check back to the start of the week. Are there things I need to put in that day, etc. And things planned ahead. And this is a booklet which is only 2 months, so every 2 months I need to get a new booklet, which is fine. It works great. The one thing that I ran into is that sometimes things go in here and I keep on transporting them, because actually they are more like little projects. So that's why at some point I started using this one. This is a new leather we are going to introduce soon. It's really smooth and soft and pliable, but quite thick. As you can see, it's quite thick leather, but I really like it. It's glazed leather, and it's really nice. We have this color and a lovely green color coming. But then again, I started using this one, so my exhibit A. Let me see if I can things like projects I have to write. For instance, I have to make a newsletter, and I keep on transporting it because I don't have room to chop it up into little steps. So what I do now is I chop it up into little steps, and I write down all those little steps in here. So now I only have to write down newsletter, and then I can review everything I need to do in here, and I check off little things in here. So things like that, notes, things I'm thinking about. Oh yes, things like this. I have to order things online. So I had to order things online, and I wrote down in my daily book, I have to order this and that and that and that and that. And then I didn't get around to doing it that day. So I had to transport it to the next day and write again this and that and that and that and that. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just writing down I have to order things. And then in this booklet I can check what it is I have to order. Things like that. And that's just to make my life easier, because that's what these books are for, right? To make life easier. So this is my my bullet journal booklet, which has an index in the back, and as you can see, I have an index, and on each page there is something, and yeah, I don't really use this, but I do have my square boxes and the odd light bulb here and there. And the thing is, the pages are numbered, which is nice with the index in the back, so I can always check here what is where and then go to the page. And when a page is done, like for instance the fandom sale, the task I had for that, this page is done because that fandom sale is passed. I can check off the corner, so I know I don't have to go back to that page. You see, those pages are done. I don't have to do anything with those anymore. The rest of the booklet is not really in use yet. I'm not sure if I will replace these booklets. I just shoved them in there because I wanted to see how much I could carry in this. So and then lastly, there of course there's my little dragon. Here's my little A5 dragon. It's maybe not so little. Let me put this one to the side. So my dragon is my A5 word planner, and I have what are these called? Friction pens, and they're falling apart. Right, these are my friction pens, and it looks purple, but it's not. It's actually it's orange, and this one looks black, but it's not. It's brown. So, because in this book I prefer to write with brown and orange. This I use to track my online orders. I have an order sheet, order insert, where you can track your online orders, where I can say where I ordered it, what I ordered there, when I ordered it, and when it arrived. And so I can check back, did it really arrive? Simple. Which works if you really fill it out. You have to fill it out. If you don't, you'll get lost. At least I do. So in the front there's this wish list, and I have suppliers and things like that, product notes, things I need for certain things, what ink cartridges I need for the printers, what the laser printer needs, things like that, what toner, etc. And I tried to stick washi tapes in here, so I have to, but yeah, no, that's not working. I like it though, it looks cute. So it's, the other thing in here, which is more like a project book, I think. This is has a yearly overview. This is half a year, and let me see, after that that's another half a year. I haven't really been using this religiously, but this is kind of like the same that I use in my oh, I didn't even show that, did I? No, I didn't. Oh, okay, I'll show it now, because I have the same in this in the back. I skipped that. This is my future log, and I've had this since 2018, and it will run carry me through 2020, which is really just an overview of the month, with room to note a few things during the month. So this was 2018, 2019, and this, which is, we are here. And for 2020 I still have room to note things, and room for notes in the back. It's a really thin little booklet, that has to carry me through several years. So this is very good for future planning, for keeping overviews of what's happening in the year. When am I going on holiday? When is a show I'm going to do? Things like that. So that's really good for that. I have it in here as well, but I have not been using that very religiously. So you have to try something. In the beginning of the year I did do this per month, things what's happening this month and what do I have to do for that. So I did try that, but since I started with my daily planning booklet, I have not been using this very much, because everything goes in the daily planning. See, it's empty. Oh, well, it should be. Because we're not there yet. Okay, here, there, October, December. See, completely empty. I have not been using this. So I think I will skip this and I will remove this from here, because I'm not using it. It might be at some point I will need it again, but now for 2020 I'm going to try something new in here. I made this booklet for somebody, and my printer was not working with me. And I now figured out what is wrong. It's the printer, it's defective, so we have to send it for maintenance, and in the meantime we have other printers we are printing on. So as you can see, these are not completely aligned. This is a little lower than here, and that shouldn't happen. So this one is really not too bad. But anyway, let me see. This is what I'm going to try for next year in this planner. I don't know if I really need it, but I'm going to try it. So it has every day, and so kind of, instead of my time tracking insert, I was using a time tracking insert. I already removed that. So this is going to have to be my kind of time tracking. So what did I do that day? And room for task and things like that. It's a simple insert, really. So I don't know. I kind of like it, but we'll see how it goes. And well, here's my folder, and then with, of course, blotting paper, which I don't use in this one, but well, it's easy to keep on hand. And this is again another bullet journal, a dot grid, which I use for ideas and designing stuff, anything and everything that comes to mind. It's kind of a note-taking thing. I like to draw things. This is my bag. See? It's all drawn from scratch, and I draw it out on things like this, and then I take it to Illustrator, and in Illustrator I work out the final design. So that's how that goes. Not too much in here. Oh, this is an idea I'm working on. But yeah. Oh, doodles. Okay. Like I said, anything and everything can go in here. So that's my planning for this year. For next year, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but whether I will go to B6 or I will stick with my B6 Slim. I'm really quite happy with my grimoire. As you can see, it says Lady Falcon's Magical Journey, and I really like that, so still quite happy with this one. It's my little spider in the back, but yeah, not sure. Did get really fat really quick, so on the one hand I like that, and on the other hand I think yeah, maybe more slimline is better. But yeah, I like that it's the entire year in here. So now for archiving I just need to take this little booklet out and stick it on a shelf, and I'm done with archiving for that year. On the other hand, 2 booklets is not too much hassle either, so the only thing is every time I start a new booklet I have to start sort of reinvent the way I do things, and with this I just continue on with what I've been doing and change it up when I feel like it. And I always, when I need inspiration, I can do this, which is what I do quite often because it's really soothing. So anyway, that's me, and I'd love to see your setups, and I'd love to know what you are doing for 2020. I will try to make more videos. I've created a video setup here. I've created an environment, I hope, in which I will be able to post more videos, because I love watching other people's. So okay, that's me for now. Bye.